You're listening to the Michael Yaffee program, WNSC.UCF.edu online radio, and well, I have an update about what happened, the terrible tragedy that happened in Fort Hood, and um, make sure that if you have a flag to put it at half staff. Make sure to keep the families of the victims and the victims who are wounded in your prayers, and even the family of the shooter, keep them in your prayers as well. And according to the Associated Press, it's been 14 people, or 13, excuse me, 13 people at Fort Hood, Texas were killed, and 38 people wounded. And I've been reading, doing some research on it, and they really, right now, I don't want to say too much because they really don't know exactly his motivations. They really don't know what happened. There's reports that he was a Muslim who felt harassed and did this. There's reports that he didn't want to go to Iraq, so he did this. We don't really know, and it's hard to speculate. But I do want to say one thing. Any terrorists out there, whether you're with the Taliban, Hezbollah, Al-Qaeda, fighting overseas, whether you're with some Nazi group or skinhead group over here, or whether you're just one person who is disgruntled and wants to spread terror, your fear, you're not going to win. Terrorists out there, you are not going to win. You don't understand the American spirit. You don't understand what this country is all about. You don't understand how strong the American people are. Those who try to spread fear and terror to bring us down, those who try to spread fear and terror so we give up, so we surrender, so we just apologize for who we are, know this, it's not going to work. American people do not give in. American people do not give up. The American people will not surrender. We will keep fighting and we will keep moving on. Because we believe that we are a good nation. We believe in freedom. We believe in the American spirit. And you, no matter what you do, no matter how much fear and terror you try to spread, we will not give up. We will not surrender. We will not back down. That is how we are. We are Americans. Instead of backing down, on 9/11, passengers of Flight 93 stormed the cockpit to fight back. Instead of backing down, firefighters stormed the Twin Towers to help others and risk their own lives. Instead of backing down, we went overseas in Afghanistan and we threw the Taliban out of power. We threw Saddam Hussein's army out of power. Instead of backing down, we will fight back. We will not quit. Because that's who we are. We do not give up. We are Americans. So I just wanted to say that. I just wanted to say I am praying for everyone in the Fort Hood area, and also all the families of the victims of what happened in Orlando yesterday, right here in my hometown. The shooter decided to storm an office building and start shooting up that place, and it's a tragedy. These people need help. And what they do, they think will give them some sort of satisfaction. It will not. Happiness cannot come through terror. Happiness cannot come through violence. You know, that's why most mass killers end up killing themselves at the end. I don't think they're happy when they do that. Happiness, fulfillment will not come through those things. Instead, fulfillment can only come through your relationship with God and when you're with loving one another. That's as plain as it can get. That's the only way you can find true happiness in this world. Not through violence or terror. But if you try to strike terror, we will not give up. We will not give up our way of life. Just for that. My prayers are with the families. Okay, so I do want to move on today. It turns out that debate is open in the House. You know, Pelosi and Democrats in the House of Representatives released a health care bill that's 1,900 pages, almost 2,000 pages long. It's just, I mean, I can't even tell you all the things that are wrong with it because just reading it alone would take me all day. I only have an hour program. I can't read the whole bill all alone. So they're debating on that, and it's just, They're doing it on Saturday. They're trying to do it when no one's paying attention because they know a lot of American people in this country do not want it. Yes, there are some who do. So instead of just giving you my opinion today, instead of just, it's hard. A lot of people don't really care what I have to say because I'm just a 23-year-old student. Oh, by the way, this is the Michael Yaffee program. If you want to instant message me during the show, you can at Radio WNSC, the screen name Radio WNSC. You can also send me an email, michael.yaffee@knights.ucf.edu. I post all my shows on YouTube and Facebook, so find me on Facebook. I'll be your friend to say you're a fan of the show. I'll be friends with you, and you'll be able to listen anytime you want. Don't be afraid to email me. Don't be afraid to instant message me. I will respond. Let's get a discussion going. But first, I'm going to start off, instead of reading my words, I want you to hear both sides. Both sides of this healthcare debate, since we're coming so close to a vote in the House, since we're coming even closer to them ramming this through, a 2,000-page bureaucracy-creating catastrophe through. I want you to hear both opinions. So first, I'm going to play Barack Obama's healthcare speech. I'm going to play his speech, and he talks about what his plan is going to do. And then after that, I'm going to play Republican Governor Bobby Jindal's opinion on what he thinks the solution should be. And I'm going to comment during them, and it's just to give you both sides, get you a chance to decide. So you don't just take my word alone. So here is Obama's part first.
And that is precisely what those of you in
Oh, by the way, he does a lot of preaching and does a lot of clapping before he actually gets to the point. So bear with me. Bear with me.
At its best and at its worst. We've seen many in this chamber work tirelessly for the better part of this year to offer thoughtful ideas about how to achieve reform. Of the 5 committees asked to develop bills, 4 have completed their work, and the Senate Finance Committee announced today that it will move forward next week.
Remember, this speech is a couple months old,
never happened before.
But he does get to the point
Our
of
overall
what his
efforts
plan
have
is.
been supported by an unprecedented coalition of doctors and nurses, hospitals, seniors groups, and even drug companies, many of whom opposed reform in the past. And there is agreement in this chamber on about 80% of what needs to be done, putting us closer to the goal of reform than we have ever been. But what we've also seen,
and when he gets to the point, I want you to listen to how much he says, we are going to require you to do this. We are going to require you to do that. We are going to require insurance companies to do this. We are going to force them to do that, make them do this. Just think about it. Think about how much he says we're going to require. The federal government is going to make you do things. I don't think that's how a free country is supposed to work, but just count how many times he says the word require, make, force. Something to think about.
And out of this blizzard of charges and countercharges, confusion has reigned. Well, the time for bickering is over. The time for games has passed. Now is
I don't know, now he kind of sounds like a Southern Baptist preacher.
We must bring the best ideas.
And we need revival.
And show the
Amen.
American people that we can still do what we were sent here to do. Now is the time to deliver on health care. Now is the time to deliver.
Hallelujah. I'm just expecting, I don't know why.
The plan I'm announcing tonight would meet 3 basic goals. It will provide more security and stability to those who have health insurance. It will provide insurance for those who don't. And it will slow the growth of health care costs for our families, our businesses,
Come
and our government.
on, get to the point. Yes, yay, yay, hallelujah, the Savior's here. Let's get to the point.
It's a plan that asks everyone to take responsibility for meeting this challenge. Not just government, not just insurance companies, but everybody.
It more like forces them to take responsibility. It isn't responsibility at all. It's just obeying the law. Asks them, come on.
From Democrats and Republicans. And yes, from some of my opponents in both the primary and general election. Here are the details that every American needs to know about this plan.